Hello, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. I want to talk about a few different things that Twitch has actively been doing and what it seems to be signaling from them as a company, at least from my perspective. Being a content creator on Twitch for over 2 years, I've seen a lot of different ups and downs with the way that the platform has actively been making decisions or moving towards certain directions with the way that their business model works. They recently announced the content classification guidelines, which this is a really interesting topic in general. So I'm going to make a separate video that goes in depth about each one of those different things that goes into that content classification guidelines. And the link will be down in the description box down below if you want more details just in that area. So I wanted to talk with you about all the different decisions that Twitch has been actively making and what that means for content creators and what that could mean for the company as a whole. So the first thing that really draws to my attention is that the way that they have changed ads as a whole, the whole thing over the last 6 months have basically changed entirely. So there was this massive movement towards like, why is content creators making such a little amount of money when it comes to ad revenue when every other platform is making way more than what you make on Twitch? And being a content creator, I felt that significantly. So then what Twitch does is they responded with saying that you can get an increased revenue share if you raise the frequency of ads and potential for the duration of ads. So basically, as a content creator, you were able to move the needle on how many ads play and for the duration of those ads per hour. And when you have that control, if you raised it to a certain threshold, you were able to increase your overall revenue share on ads that are played, that for people that actually see it. So that is good and it's bad, but it's also lacking extra control for content creators for not being able to just turn ads off altogether. That would be a huge benefit for someone that is like medium to small size where I'm in versus somebody that is setting at hundreds and thousands of viewers. Now, if you're a Twitch partner, you were able to get an extra threshold where you were, hey, if you stream so many hours, we will give you X amount of bonus money towards your ad revenue. So there was that incentive, but a lot of the incentives that they were asking you to do is, hey, if you streamed 100 hours last month, well, if you stream 120, we will boost your ad revenue, or we will boost your money that you get back from ad revenue. Now, I'm going to be completely transparent with you on what these changes actively did for my channel. So before this new ad revenue system was launched, I was making between $20 and $25 a month on around 100 hours streamed. That's how little I was making. That's why someone for my size, it would be just more preferable for me to just be able to get rid of ads altogether in my stream. Now, so then when they announced this new system, I said, okay, let me give it a shot and let's see what the difference is. My ad revenue went all the way up to like $120. And I think I streamed like an extra 10 hours that month. So in like 110 hours, I think I streamed, and then I got about $120 worth of ad revenue. And I was like, okay, now that's a significant jump from what my previous month was. And then I had similar number of hours streamed. I had similar numbers each month without like any kind of standard deviation. Outside of that, with my sub counts and those types of things during each of those months, it progressively decreased. I have not been able to identify why my channel has decreased month after month in ad revenue. Now, I have looked into the analytics. I cannot identify why that has actively happened. But without Twitch's transparency in any of this, there's no way for me to ever know this. Now I want to talk about the next thing that Twitch did, which was basically come out and say that ultimately they wanted to be in control of partnerships and sponsorships that are actively happening on people's screens. So they were going to limit what your sponsorship size could be on your screen, and how, you couldn't have embedded videos and different things like that. So basically what they wanted to do was to control what was being sponsored or quote unquote ad on somebody's stream organically. And with that being said, that it was this massive outrage, and basically Twitch walked that back, and they almost entirely walked it back. And I'm not going to get into much of the details, but that is another signaling piece of what the big corporate Twitch is wanting to accomplish. So we're going to get a little bit deeper into that as I continue to bring up the next topic, which was the newest thing that they just did with content classification guidelines. So if you listen to the conversation that they basically talked about, each one of these different criterias of the classifications in the guidelines, they go through the process of it being mature rated games, sexual themes, drugs and intoxication, excessive tobacco use, violent graphic depiction, gambling, significant profanity, and vulgar language. So how this was communicated is that if your content falls under any of these different things, then you're going to have to put that tag on your content. And when you put that tag on your content, ultimately what that is going to do is it's going to limit the kind of ads that are going to be able to be shown on your content. So what does this mean? This means, so say if you're playing an M-rated game, so a mature game, there is companies that might not want their product to be shown in a category that somebody is playing a mature rated game. So you might be thinking that's not that big of a deal with the mature rated tag. But when you start looking at the tag of drugs, intoxication, excessive tobacco use, I would say majority of companies are not going to want their ads to be played on a content creator that has that tag on there. Now we're going to put all of this together. In the corporate world, there is a lot of signaling that is truly happening at this moment. When we look at these three things, they've completely changed the ad revenue system, which I think is partially been for the betterment, but then have gone about it in the most absurd way. There has been zero thought of the content creator in any of these decision makings, which has been extremely clear that they haven't thought about the content creators. They're exclusively thinking about how to become profitable, and which from any business perspective seems like a wise decision. But the way that they've gone about this is, it looks like to me that somebody at the highest level has said, listen, you all better start making this thing profitable, or it's going to either go away, or we're going to sell it, or something. Something is changing, because even though there has been negative responses at the highest over the course of the last 6 months, they continually make these decisions that are negative for content creators as if they don't care. Now, the only way that this makes any kind of logical sense is that there is somebody at the top, at the highest level, that is demanding results, and they're having to carry this thing out. It's the only thing that makes sense to me of why you would continue to do this, because now there are legit competitors in the streaming world with Kick, with YouTube, with Facebook Gaming, kinda, but Trovo. I mean, there's so many different options for content creators to put their content in. So with that being said, I don't want to put on the tinfoil hat here, but it kind of looks like there is something in the works that if things don't become profitable, there might be some folks out of some jobs. All right, that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you all had a great time. And so what do you think about what is actively happening over there on Twitch? Let me know in the comments section down below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you all real soon. Cheers.